Okay, we've been talking about Joseph. We left him in prison all week. We actually don't know exactly how long he was in prison before Pharaoh got really mad at his baker and at his cupbearer, which is the man who brought his drinks to him. Probably he had to test it first, drink a little bit of it, to prove it wasn't poisoned. But he brought the cup to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh got mad at him and threw them in prison. Well, by the time they were thrown in prison, Joseph was in charge of the prison. Yes, he's still a prisoner, but the man in charge of the prison wasn't any stupider than Potiphar. Remember, Potiphar, the head of the guard, saw that everything Joseph touched prospered, so he put Joseph in charge of his whole house, so he would prosper. Well, the guy in charge of the prison saw the same thing, and so he put Joseph in charge of the whole prison. A lot of times prisons actually do work, maybe even make some money for those running the prison, but even if it didn't, with Joseph in charge, everything would have run smoother because God blessed everything Joseph did. So he's in charge, and one day he's walking by and he sees the baker and the cupbearer, and they're both look upset. So he asks them, "What's wrong? Why are you upset?" And they both said, "Well, we had dreams last night, and they're not the normal kind of dream. They were different dreams, and we know they're important, and we know they mean something, but we don't know what." So Joseph said, "Well, God knows everything. God knows what dreams mean. So tell me your dreams." So the cupbearer said, "I dreamt that there was this grapevine came up out of the ground, and it had 3 branches, and it grew 3 clusters of grapes, and I took Pharaoh's cup, and I squeezed some grape juice into the cup, and then I took it and gave it to Pharaoh." And Joseph said, "Oh, well, what your dream means is that in 3 days, Pharaoh is going to take you out of this prison and put you back in your old job. And when he does, remember to tell him about me, because I was kidnapped from my homeland, and even here I didn't do anything wrong to deserve to be in prison. So take my case to Pharaoh so he knows about me, so he'll let me go." Well, when the baker saw that the cupbearer had such a good interpretation for his dream, he said, "You know what? In my dream, I was walking along with 3 baskets of breads on my head. All different kinds of breads. Probably cinnamon rolls and croissants, and whole wheat, or their equivalents, donuts. And while I was walking along with the 3 baskets of bread on my head, a bunch of birds came by and ate all the bread up." And Joseph said, "Well, what your dream means is that in 3 days, Pharaoh's going to execute you." So he wasn't real happy with the interpretation of his dream. 3 days later, Pharaoh sent to the prison, and he took both men out of the prison, and he told the cupbearer, "Okay, you can have your job back. I forgive you," for whatever he had done to upset Pharaoh. To the baker, he said, "You're going to die," and he executed him. Exactly what Joseph had told them their dreams meant. Unfortunately, with all the hullabaloo of going back to his position, the cupbearer forgot all about Joseph for 2 years. He didn't even remember to say anything to Pharaoh about him. So Joseph stayed in prison for 2 more years. So we're going to leave him there for another week. Let's sing our song. I'm in, right out, right up, right down, right happy all the time. I'm in, right out, right up, right down, right happy all the time. Since Jesus Christ came in and cleansed my heart from sin.
Jesus Christ came in and cleansed my heart from sin.